Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Review. Succaba's back, or however you pronounce it. I'm like crazy excited. I did like Bravo last year. I bought, I believe it was 3 bottles of it. It's a smaller format, which I'm a huge fan of. I've been very vocal how much I love the smaller format. And I sent one to the guys at Nerd Sense. We did a joint review, and I think I still have a Bravo aging, unless I'm completely off the mark. But I am super excited this is back this year. I do have a little bit of a vintage run going. I only bought one this year. I'm hoping that if I like this, it's still available. I can grab another one. In hindsight, I probably should have assumed I'll like this year since I've liked every other year I've had and bought at least two. Excuse me. It was 9.99. So again, huge fan of the size. I feel like that's more money per ounce than they were charging when it was in the bigger format. So I like that price to be just even a buck, like 8.99 would make me feel a bit better. All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. So on the box, what should I be looking for according to them? This latest vintage, big boozy bourbon American oak aromas combined with soft chocolate malt. So I should be according to them and the aroma. I'll get the barrel and some chocolate. Okay. That would be amazing. And then in the taste, where is it? Complex malt flavors are framed in oak with hints of dark chocolate, vanilla, toasted coconut, a touch of dark cherry. If I get those things, that is a winner, and I'll be totally cool with it. Oh, it's a barley wine. Sorry, if you don't know anything about this beer, it's a barley wine aged in bourbon barrels. It's 12.5% ABV. It's British style for a barley wine, so it shouldn't be too hoppy. And over 7,000 cases produced. Okay, cool. I love barley wines. I'm trying to review. I'm trying to like not change up anything, but just like diversify a little bit what I'm reviewing. And I have a ton of 16 ounce happy beers. Don't worry, but I'm trying to throw in some more stuff like this in the mix as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So far, it looks like a barley wine. It's got that nice like brown ruby red kind of a color. Um, as I was pouring it. Yeah, you get a little bit of red on the sides there. Just under 3 fingers ahead. Pretty dark in the center. I'd say yeah, it's like red to brown to black in the center. So it's kind of like has that um, rainbow, whatever you want to call it. The head itself, slightly darker than khaki. Not much, at least the kind of khakis I wear to work, which apparently khaki I always thought khaki was the style, but I think it's the color, right? I'm not a fashion guy, clearly. Wearing a free T-shirt I got. Let's get the aroma. I'm gonna say it leads coconut actually. Coconut, then bourbon, then the actual barrel. Then I'm getting vanilla. Like none of this is surprising, but I am surprised that coconut's the first thing jumping out at me. I'm gonna say more like raisins and chocolate in the aroma. Reminds me of dehydrated bananas I used to make. Where I just literally put cut bananas, take the peels off and put them in my food dehydrator. It has a little bit, so it has some of those like dried fruit notes more than chocolate that I'm getting. Other than that, I agree with the box pretty much spot on. But yeah, that toasted coconut is strong in this. I'm not trying to talk in hyperbole, but this is pretty much like exactly what I want this beer to smell like. Um, I get some of that barley wine sweetness. There's also some burnt sugar caramel with those dark, not necessarily dark, but like the dried fruit. And then you get that barrel stuff coming in huge. And that it's interesting with that coconut. I guess that is swapped a little bit in my order of what I would think this would smell like. But in terms of how much I'm enjoying this aroma, it's about as good as it gets. I'll put it that way. I'm crazy excited to get into this glass. Cheers. My initial reaction is that this beer is delicious. Wow. For 12.5, you do get some warmth. They also say this ages well. It's one of the reasons why I've been aging some. Um, you get a little bit of warmth. I could see a year, just a year, really rounding that out. I wouldn't say it's a criticism. I like that it's a winter day today. Like I'm, despite the fact I'm wearing a sweat or a t-shirt, um, but I really like that. I got a little bit in the glass still. Um, I'll take another swig and then start telling you some of the other stuff I'm getting there besides just what the alcohol taste is, and it's not much, but it does have a nice warmth. The flavor up front is nice, but I tell you what, for me, that finish, that's what's kind of not quite blowing my mind, but that's where I'm like, wow, that's really tasty. Up front, well, let me do one more swig. Up front, I get some of that. I get like a soft vanilla, but I just want to talk about the finish. It gets a little dry for how sweet it at first appears. It's a cool roller coaster. I do get bitter dark chocolate. You get that barrel awesome. I'm gonna say actually I get the barrel a little bit more than the bourbon. Typically speaking, in bourbon barrel aged beers, I get the bourbon more than the actual oak. This one, I'm gonna say it's a little flopped. The dried fruit note comes through. It's there, like the aroma, not as much as the aroma. The coconut is way more in the aroma that I'm getting to taste. I do get some of the taste, though. If you don't like coconut, I would be like these other flavors. I wouldn't say avoid this beer, but the coconut is not as much in the aroma. I'm sorry, in the taste as it is in the aroma. I keep taking big gulps. It is 12.5%, but it's really good. There's a couple more things I kind of want to pick out. It's so soft and full while still being delicate. The mouthfeel is so interesting there. It's not syrupy, but it does have big flavor, but not like Sammy Claus, that higher ABV or something in that realm. And there's another flavor in there. It's not, it makes me think quad. My initial thing is like sweet roasted beets, which is like such an oddly specific thing. It's not quite that, but it's something relatively sweet, not vegetal. Like that makes it sound like it's bad. It's not. I'll put it this way: I want to go see if they have more of this beer. I want to buy one, maybe two to age, um, because I'm really this beer is hitting that spot for me. It's not cloyingly sweet. If you're like, oh, it's an English style barley wine, it's in bourbon barrels, I think it might be too sweet for me. I don't think it's that sweet. It does have actually really nice dryness in that finish and that back end, and then into the finish, I should say. This beer's really good. Um, it's about all I guess I can say about it. The vanilla is nice in there. I guess maybe a hair more because of the aroma, maybe a hair more coconut. Just if I was going to try to throw criticism at it at all, but it's a really strong offering. This is great. For the keep doing this. I hope. Again, Bravo was good too, but I really like this. Check me out on Instagram and Untapped if you haven't yet. It's just no hype beer reviews at both those places. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, most importantly, and bye, guys. Cheers.